approach, quickly sapping the interest of all but the most determined readers. I know this because I was one of the determined ones who studied economics and slogged through so many courses and countless books on the subject. Why was I so determined? I grew up in Brooklyn in a family that often faced financial difficulties. I started working in my teens and spent a good part of my time as a young adult helping my father in his grocery store. I became painfully aware of the great disparities in education, security, material well-being, and opportunity. I saw how those inequalities caused some people to become cynical, resigned, or indifferent, while others became determined to overcome them. I became fascinated by them. I felt that if I wanted to live in a more just and productive society, I first had to understand how it worked. I believe the same is true for you. I want you to be able to identify better solutions for the problems we face so you are not dependent on others for direction. I want you to be able to assess which politicians are proposing policies that would grow our economy and provide more opportunity. I want you to be able to advocate for solutions with the confidence that an understanding of the economic system brings. I want you to feel empowered to defend those solutions against the inaccurate criticisms so prevalent in social media echo chambers. The need for this understanding is more important now than ever. The belief that our economic system is failing is at a record high, and for good reason. Incomes are stagnating, middle-class jobs are disappearing, the economy is growing more slowly, and the meager gains produced are almost exclusively going to those who are already wealthy. There has been a wide range of reactions to these economic changes, from Occupy Wall Street to the election of Donald Trump. What is the one thing all of these reactions have in common? They have not resulted in any significant positive change in the lives of most Americans. This book seeks to change that. I believe if more of us were armed with a better understanding of how the economy works, more constructive solutions for the problems we face would be implemented, and we would finally see the economy improve for the average person. Whether your own goal is to change the world, to better evaluate candidates for public office, or simply to be better informed, my hope is that this book will help you assess what is possible and inspire you to make our nation more equitable and productive. As people often correctly say, democracy is not a spectator sport. Its health depends upon the participation of well-informed people like yourself. Part 1. The Economic System. Chapter 1. Capitalism. What gets made and who gets what? Winston Churchill said the inherent vice of capitalism is the unequal sharing of blessings. The inherent virtue of socialism is the equal sharing of miseries. Capitalism, socialism, other isms, and reality. What do Helen Keller, Adolf Hitler, Oscar Wilde, Joseph Stalin, and Nelson Mandela all have in common? They all called themselves socialists. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump, who broke all conventions and radically departed from the status quo, is called conservative. People who fault the media for not sticking to the truth are called liberal, and sycophants who make a living by cozying up to politicians are called capitalist. Clearly, many of the key terms used to describe economic and political systems have lost their meanings. Labels like capitalist and socialist have become so distorted and politicized over time that they serve more often as insults than as a succinct and accurate summary of someone's worldview. Therefore, they aren't particularly useful in helping us to look fairly and objectively at our economic system and gain insight into how it actually works. In order to start understanding the economy, we need to begin with the most fundamental economic questions. Who gets what? And who does what? Today, with so much more stuff to allocate, such as cars, phones, college educations, and books on economics, and so many things to do, such as building cars, assembling phones, teaching, and writing books on economics, countless decisions have to be made. How can we make these decisions? On one hand, these decisions could be made collectively by the government. In this scenario, the government owns everything and makes all the decisions. It decides how much food to